Remember that time, maybe you went to IKEA. Maybe your partner brought home this big box, all excited. I'm going to open this box and build this piece of furniture, this cabinet, this couch, whatever it is. And remember the stress you felt? Like, well, all right, where's the instructions? And then what's it supposed to look like? Where's the end use case? That's stressful. But did you realize if you're in a sales conversation and you show up and you're all jacked up about, what your product or what your service can do for this client, you're all excited. But the problem is you're at a disadvantage because all of it's in here. You see it clearly. But what are you expecting your prospect to do? Open that box, feel that stress, and try to assemble a version of what you're proposing and get to that picture on the box that's in their head. That's stressful. And most of them are going to say, no, I don't want to do that. The brain's not going to let them. They don't have time. And you wonder how many conversations you've had. And it's like everything lined up, everything was logical, and they still said no. Well, whose fault is that? Well, it's your fault. But don't worry. Here's the path. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to solve that today. All right. The golden path. I'm going to show you how to use Notebook LM to bridge the sales gap because it's all in your head. It's all clear. You know how to do it. You do it all the time. You design this solution for this specific case. But if you're just expecting for your end user to do the mental math and connect the dots and be all excited about it, well, you've probably experienced it. It doesn't happen, but in rare cases. So here we go. So there's this risk that's associated with this. You have what's called the curse of knowledge. Everything's clear. But guess what? They don't have. They don't have the blessing of the knowledge, right? And so what you need to do in this case is, back in the old days, with old marketing, the old legacy world of marketing, you had a brochure that someone sat down and said, we need to dumb this down and make it the most generic thing we can do. And hopefully the person that looks at this will go, oh, in my specific unique situation, this is how we would assemble it. And we would take this feature and this benefit, and they're not going to build that Lego set. They're not going to put that puzzle together. In many cases, you've heard, yeah, I could see how that works in everybody else's situation, but we're different. And that we're different problem is what we're solving today. So I'm going to show you how to, let's capture all the subject matter expertise on your end. You have folks that use this, you have folks that designed it, you have folks that support it, and they have insights that you need to capture, and you're going to put that inside of your Notebook LM. You're going to put that over in the source side. And what is that? That's all of the details, all the unique situations, right? And then you're going to go and you're going to capture your prospect's reality. Maybe you've had a Zoom conversation with them and several preliminary sales conversations, and you've actually recorded and captured a lot of data. And in that, they revealed specific challenges or problems that they're wanting to solve. Wow, this is gold. Put it in your source documents. Also, go to their website. Put that in there, in that Notebook LM source side. And also, go download whatever materials they have and put it in there as well. And what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to create what's the golden path. The golden path is how to get someone to cross the risk and get to the other side so they can get to where they want to go. We're going to show them exactly what their future looks like, but in a customized, bespoke way, instead of here's our material that was designed a couple of years ago, and you connect the dots. All right, golden path. So the biggest mistake in sales is assuming that your prospect's going to do the mental math to figure out how your solution fits their unique problem, as I was explaining. And so you have a way to use the take advantage and overcome what I call the pre AI arsenal. That's where you have these high level, pre made, one size fits all sales materials that have been designed by someone to help you have at least something to leave behind or go into a meeting looking like you prepared a little bit. But the problem is that translation that you're expecting them to connect the dots, it more often than not doesn't connect. And so you're relying on everyone to do this mental math, but it's not happening. And it's an unfair expectation and it's kind of exhausting. Actually, and the way to differentiate yourself is to take advantage of artificial intelligence. And specifically, if you've been following me, if you've been uh, following along my golden series, your Notebook LM is this piece of information that helps you explain anything clearly. And so, in just minutes, I'm going to show you how you can generate a customized, highly customized version of your solution tailored to your client. And so, as I mentioned before, you're going to capture all of your core value. You could put in your website, you could put in all of your materials, you could put in your instruction manuals or your customer service transcripts. All these things, you're able to put this in. Now, this is a lot of data, and this is where AI comes in, and is your advantage is that you don't have time yourself. If you're realizing your customer doesn't have time to connect all the dots, you sure don't. Okay, you got to get on to other conversations, but that's where artificial intelligence comes in. It can go through this and start to build out a structured solution for certain scenarios. And then when you go get your target prospects information and you put it in, what are you doing? You're going, hey, of all of our potential use cases, our client has these promises that they've made to their customers, and they have explained what they do. Where do the dots connect? What particular use cases can I bring forward and show? It helps them get to what they ultimately want. What do they want to do? They want to do more of what they're great at. The reason they're talking to you is because they realize they have a problem. They're exploring solutions, and here's your opportunity to differentiate yourself, and clarity wins. And this is how you extract clarity from all the options you have and putting it in a nice, let's make that puzzle for them. Let's put it together and they can see their unique picture with them and their aspirational future. Okay. And so we're collecting their prospect reality. We collected your core value. We collect and gather in their prospect reality. We're putting that in Notebook LM. Why Notebook LM? It's a walled garden, and it's only going to, when you ask it to create the golden path, it's only going to look there. It's not going to go out on the internet. It's not going to come up with some generic hallucinations. It's only going to pull from the approved input that you've put in. Only consider this information. Okay. So you can go and get their website copy. You can download their investor reports. You can go on and read their reviews, copy and paste those, and bring the reviews of their solutions. There's a lot of data that you can go out and collect and use AI to mold and make this beautiful synthesis that's perfect for them. So subject matter expertise, project reality, and guess what's going to come out? This golden path, this map. You're leading them through a dark, scary forest with a map and a flashlight, right? And so here they are. This image is so good. You're helping them get across to here. But I think of this, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Why did we enjoy it? Because he would go and take all these risks, spiders and and sticks and negatives and all these risks. But in reality, we're expecting all of our clients to be like him and want to take all those. But the truth is, they don't. They don't have time for it, and your expectations are unrealistic. And so you have to help them figure out how to get across this scary turmoil of imagined risks. And so by putting down a custom path, the golden path, you're saying, look, it's this is here. We're going to go over there to your aspirational reality, what you desire to accomplish, and we're going to go step by step. And in your unique situation, we're going to step on this rock first. We're going to go to the next rock first. We're going to go to the next. And we're going to get you across there safely. And so, autumn, on just it's amazing. I spent some time this past week, and that's where this conversation comes from. I spent a time with a VIP client. We did exactly this. We sat down and we created this presentation that set them up for success. But here's what the other side of this that happens is while you're giving them a glowing light bulb, a guided specific use cases with zero friction, guess what's happening? Your confidence in success, your confidence in delivering clarity goes way up. Your energy goes way up. Even you are seeing the aspirational outcome for these folks. And imagine that you take this, you show them this slide deck, this presentation of the specific steps of where we're going. Imagine them taking it back and using that as an explanation, a justification of why they're choosing you. And imagine the differentiation. Imagine the folks that you're competing against and what they brought. This is an amazing way to use Notebook LM to get you aligned and moving along. It also is a great tool to bring in and go, here, team, this is what I gave them. Here's where we're going. We assume that everybody's on the same page, but that assumption is wrong. Okay. And so by getting this clear, by setting up your presentation, by interrogating the materials, then you're aligning. This word I see. How many times have you been explaining something and you're falling short and their eyes are glazing over, but that one time someone goes, oh, I see. Well, there's a reason why we're visual. Most of our computing processing power from our brain is directed, an amazing amount of those resources are aimed at our eyes. We're very visual. We aim at something. We're going somewhere. We have goals, but we're visualizing these goals. And this is an amazing power that just establishes clarity. So give them clarity. Take the materials, put it into Notebook LM, take both sides, their reality, your reality, put them together and create a new reality of those two things moving together into the future successfully. Yeah, you don't have to hope the prospect sees a vision when you can just build a golden path that helps them see exactly what their future looks like with your solution in their future. So what did we learn today? We learned how to capture your core value. We learned that you're at a disadvantage because you're too close to all your solutions, and it's easy for you to see, but you're expecting your prospect to see it, and they don't. It's a lot of work, just like in that IKEA example. So let's capture your subject matter expertise. Let's gather their reality, and let's build a future reality. And let's use Notebook LM with their perfect tools to generate slide decks, audio overviews, Video explainers, these are powerful tools that you don't need a big giant marketing team to pull off. All right. Like and subscribe this. If you're getting value out of it, share it. Use this QR code to connect and get some more resources with us. But try this out. Let me know how it goes. I've been using it for a while and it's extremely powerful. And that's another episode of AI Made Simple. I'm Steve ROI Brown. That's a wrap.